What's going on, everybody? I am the Masked Man, and today I am reviewing season one of Minority Report at the halfway point. Minority Report, the synopsis or the premise of the show, as read off of IMDb. 10 years after the end of pre crime in Washington, D.C., one of the three precogs attempts to lead a normal life while still suffering from visions of the future. Will they be able to hold it together or mentally break down and give up? It's kind of a bad synopsis of the show, you know. As far as I know, I don't know what the hell will they means, but that's just the synopsis taken verbatim. The show is about Dash, one of the precogs, who has partial visions of murders. He sees part of it, but he can't see the full vision because he's not united with his other two siblings, Arthur and Agatha. When the three of them are together, they have a complete vision. Arthur gets the information, the words, the names, the addresses. Agatha has just a fuller picture. She is the most powerful of the three of them. And when they're together, they have a complete vision. Dash sees the most brutal parts of the murders, but without the other two, he just sees part of it. And he's been, you know, for an unspecified amount of time been trying to stop crimes on his own, and he's ultimately not been successful until he meets up with Megan Good's character, Laura Vega. Now, I love beautiful women, and to me, Megan Good is like, the new Holly Berry. As far as just being a gorgeous black woman who is the total package. She has the face, she has the body, she has the smile. She's just 100% 10 stunningly beautiful woman from head to toe. Like, literally from head to toe. Like, she is gorgeous. And she is a very good actress. This is probably my favorite of the new shows. I really think you should check this show out. I think that even though this is a cop show, and I'm really fed up with cop shows, it's a cop show that's actually supposed to be one. That actually needs to be a cop show, and it's very good. And they tackle different things that are going on today, like how much surveillance should the government be allowed to do of private citizens? How much has technology disconnected us? What are the ethics of, capturing people who are special or who are talented, and forcing them to solve crimes? Is it for the greater good? Do their rights have to be respected even if other people are going to lose their lives? I think it deals with a lot of deep issues. And I hear it's in danger of being canceled, which is an absolute shame because I feel like everybody in the show and all of the stories in the show have been very good. All of the episodes have been very good. All of the characters are very good. You watch the show and, they introduce Arthur, who is Dash's older twin brother. He was born before Dash, but they're twins. And he's this kind of hustler guy. He uses his psychic abilities to enrich himself. And via Detective Laura Vega, played by Megan Good, she takes issue with that. But you can see the need for him being the way that he is. And you can even see the justification for him being the way that he is. And her interaction with him and her interaction with Dash almost has you feeling like maybe Megan Good, maybe Laura Vega is the bad guy. Maybe she's going to turn on them. And you always have that feeling throughout the show because she always there's this darkness about her. There's this sense that you can't really trust her, but she wants you, but you can't really trust her, but she's untrustworthy of other people. Like she doesn't trust Arthur, and she doesn't trust Agatha, and she doesn't trust the doctor, but she wants everybody to trust her and believe in her. And that makes you feel that maybe she's going to turn on these people because she doesn't really trust anybody in the show, and she doesn't really confide in anybody in the show. And I'm not saying that as a negative. I'm saying that that's a great character. Like Megan Good is playing a great character. That is a great character that she's playing, that you don't really know, is she actually the good guy? Is she gonna turn on Dash? Is she gonna turn on Arthur? And you feel that all throughout the season. And you feel the pain that she has from losing her parent, and the how upset she is that she was passed over for promotion. You see all of that in this character. You see all of that. One of the little things I don't like, I'm not gonna deal with, how 3 people in the whole world have superpowers. I'm not gonna touch that. The show doesn't explain how these 3 people have superpowers, and there's nobody else that can do it, or how they are able to scale their superpowers to see every murder in the entire world. Not going to talk about that either. I'm going to talk about how I do not like how futuristic weapons are less lethal than current weapons. It boggles my mind how there'll be movies or television shows, like take a Star Wars, for instance. Star Wars is a movie that I haven't ever seen. Haven't seen Star Wars. It's one of those movies that are just so popular, so big, so iconic. You feel like you've seen it even if you haven't actually seen it. I've just never been compelled to see the whole movie. But Star Wars, from what I know, is that they have the little guns and they shoot lasers and shit. But the lasers that they shoot are slower than bullets. It's like you can actually dodge the lasers. And I hate that about a lot of futuristic shows and a lot of futuristic television shows and movies. It's like they have these weapons that are intended to be deadly, intended to be lethal. Like they didn't, like Detective Vega or nobody else said that these are stun guns. These guns are meant to immobilize. They're meant to paralyze. For all we know, these are guns that are made to kill you, but they are slower and they are less lethal than actual firearms from today. Why is that? Why are the guns of the future not as deadly as the guns of the past? And if they are going to be less deadly, at least explain why they are less deadly. That's all I'm trying to say. Other than that, The show is very good. I think the characters are very good. I really love Akila. Um, she's an Asian character that has two tattoos, on her face to full facial recognition. I think she's a very fun character. She's Vega's friend. Um, I think Wally the caretaker, and that's his name in IMDb. Wally the caretaker. He's a very interesting guy. He's a smart guy who really loves and cares about the precogs, um, and really wants the best for them. And he's a genius, brilliant guy who's had all of this wealth, but he's just not in the system anymore, and he's helping Vega and Dash, solve these crimes under the radar so that, they all don't get snatched up. And that's really the biggest fear in the show for the precogs. It is that if anybody finds them, they will take them all back into custody and they will use them to solve crimes for the rest of their lives, and they'll never be free again. So I think the show has a lot of good drama. It's got a lot of good tension. It has very good storylines, for a cop show. It seems to have an unfolding plot, which is something that I hate about a lot of shows. A lot of shows have episodes that are not connected to each other. Like you can start the show at any point and you didn't really miss anything. One thing that I love about Minority Report and that I love about Sleepy Hollow is that you have to really watch every episode. You can't miss anything because the episodes are connected, because they're building to something. They're going somewhere. And a lot of shows aren't really going anywhere. They either don't have an ultimate destination at all, or they do have one and they have 11 episodes of stalling and one episode where they actually move toward the intended goal, or they advance the plot. It's 11 episodes of dick teasing and one episode where they tickle the balls. It's they don't really build up to something. They don't have an unfolding plot. And I like Minority Report because it feels like every episode we're getting closer and closer to something. Like the story is unfolding and something is happening. Like these episodes are just not independent cases where they're just solving this crime this day, and this crime today has nothing to do with the next crime tomorrow. I like an unfolding story. That's why I watch television, is because, excluding comedy shows, it should be a long unfolding story that has a point and then that takes me on a journey. And I feel like a lot of shows don't do that. They just have episode A that has nothing to do with episode B. And somewhere along the lines, they may create a villain to be caught, or they may create an organization to take down. But ultimately, they're not really working it every episode. They're not doing that in every episode trying to get somewhere. It's not a piece of anything. It's an independent entity. But that's all I had to say about Minority Report. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what you think of the show. Let me know what you think of my review. I'm new to this and I'm always trying to get better, and I can use your advice and your support. Rate the video, like the video, dislike the video, be honest. Subscribe to my channel. Send me an email, email me anything you want me to talk about. I talk about television and movies primarily, but I will talk about anything that you want me to. You can email me at Mr. Maskman. You can put an S at the end of Maskman, business@gmail.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at the Mr. Maskman on Twitter. And you can give me a good way to sign off on videos. But for now, that is all I have to say, and I will see you in the next video.